Hey, what's up, long drivers? Welcome to Smash Factor. We got a really good show lined up for you today. As always, we're brought to you by Shark Attack Golf, makers of the finest golf clubs and equipment for long drive on the planet. So in today's show, we've got Ben Rodriguez joining us, former NFL football player, physical therapist. He's going to be on with Kevin Porter to talk about ways that you can use what he knows to make you faster. How about that? We all want to be faster, right? We've got the results from the Florida event at Lake Jovita and a look at the May schedule. All of this is coming up right after this. All right, fellas, welcome back. Welcome back to Smash Factor, and welcome Ben Rodriguez, My Training Solutions, over on, this side of me. And Kevin Porter on that side of me. There's KP, and there's Ben right over there. Say hello, fellas.
Hey, guys, going?
Yeah, cool. So KP, let's introduce Ben Rodriguez. Ben came down and visited us for the XLD Team Series event. He is a physical therapist in Pennsylvania, former pro football player in the NFL. Ben is very much interested in golf in particular. He's a golfer, and he's also interested in gaining speed, and watched our long drivers. And what got me was he picked up some unique things. There are guys out there that are swinging that have a physical limitation due to an injury or something like that. And then there are people that possibly have a limitation that don't even know they're limited in speed. So that kind of brought about this gathering today with KP here and Ben on this show. Fellas, again, welcome to Smash Factor. We got plenty of time here. Let's talk about physical therapy, speed, and all that good stuff. KP, you start.
Yeah. So, it was really cool. I mean, meeting Ben down there that Friday night and starting to talk about all the things that I see running the academy, doing all the stuff there. And, you'll see like some Rotex motion plates behind me, things like that mobility is such a key in gaining speed and things like that. And it's, for me, I've taken mobility certification classes, things like that. So, we kind of clicked there right in the beginning, just, things that I see. And it really intrigues me to bring someone kind of in-house for all the hitters out there, to have someone like Ben kind of join up on the team there and be able to do stuff. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk with Ben about, and maybe even do some lives and stuff like that in the future with him, doing Q&As and stuff like that. And it's just, for me, I kind of nerd out on some of that stuff, right? Mobility work and anatomy and things like that, what kind of makes everything tick. So I'd love to hear Ben kind of talk about what he saw just even Friday night with some of the best guys on the planet right now, and the limitations that maybe he saw through there. So
before we get into hearing from Ben on that, let me say this. I'll bring everybody up to speed. I brought Ben into the ULD Academy while he was here, and ran him through a stage 1, showed him a little bit about stage 2, put him on the Rotex motion devices so that he could get a feel for that. So he's very familiar with what we're using on our end as well. So there you go, Ben. You're all set up. Tell us what you saw, man, and what you think.
Hey, I just want to, thank you for having me there. And it was eye-opening to see, just these athletes swing so incredibly hard compared to what I could do. And it was very, it was a really cool experience to see the different types of swings, different types of body types, ages, and it was eye-opening to see, the athletes at that specific level. They were all at that high level, but then, and of course, talking to KP, I geek out as well, and I'm watching mostly posture and center of gravity and stance and flexibility, and then my mind starts working. How could I help these guys out?
So to bring folks up to date, you do a lot of your training via Zoom now, don't you?
I do. Right. So this is the lab, right? You can see the picture behind me is the lab. This is our gym in Pennsylvania. I used to work in regular orthopedic office for years and years and years, and I wanted to reach out more than just getting a script from a doctor saying, okay, you have a total hip replacement, let's just work on that. Right now, what I do is total body wellness, total fitness, and specific sport exercises based on flexibility, range of motion, bench strength, and finally endurance. But I do a lot of this on Zoom. I got guys in South Dakota. I have guys in California that I train with me as their model to the things that we want to do. I first have an evaluation as we're speaking right now. We'll talk about what's stopping them. They'll give me a video of whatever sport it is. It could be golf, it could be basketball, it could be tennis, anything. I evaluate them body mechanics wise, and then we create a specific workout for each individual based on their pathology. So if you have something like that hitch with that one golfer with his right leg, his soleus, I saw that little muscle, we would work specifically on that in combination of getting total strengthening for whatever specific sport you're doing. Golf being such a violent movement, a swing, it's like a baseball swing. It's like a violent movement on your spine. I try to create a lot of range of motion in spinal support, core, right? We have a misconception of core being just our abs. We work on obliques, lumbar spine, spinal stabilization, your feet, your knees, your hips, and we just kind of work our way up. And our Zoom program has been one of mine, very important and most, how do I say, I really, really enjoy the Zoom workouts because I get to reach you at your house, at your local gym, wherever you're able to do it, I'm able to do it.
Yeah, that really makes you accessible to everyone, which is a cool thing. That interests us here at ULD to be able to plug this part of what's available out there into our program is really cool because, listen, I can tell you, I don't have as many things wrong with me as you do, but I didn't play. So let me also ask you, you probably don't recommend professional football to anyone, do you, nowadays?
The last sport that I would recommend to anybody on the planet Earth is football. Don't do it. Don't do it. And the reason why it's not a matter of when you have an injury, it's how many you're going to get.
Yeah.
So let's try to avoid that.
Probably how bad they're going to be.
Yeah. So, I did crazy things all through my life. I raced motorcycles, raced cars, and like everybody else, I played basketball, softball, and all those things. And I'm 68 years old. And at 60, I thought, you know what? I've done pretty well, man. I don't really feel all that stuff. Man, I should never have said that because the last few years have been absolute hell when it comes to feeling everything that I put my body through in the past. So I, for one, can relate. I was here hitting balls yesterday. I hit balls for an hour and a half yesterday morning here over in the academy. and because I'm just trying to get back into it after being out for a while, and the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I need to talk to Ben about this, and I need to talk to Ben about that, but yeah, that's cool. Okay, KP, you got anything specific that you want to bring up or talk? Yeah, go ahead.
I could probably sit here and talk for hours with Ben on certain stuff, but I want to get your thoughts on kind of my primary focus with the guys doing speed. I want to hear your kind of thoughts on this. Would be for me the big three, which is going to be ankles, hips, and thoracic spine. Right? Those are kind of the big three that I target the most with everybody, at least to start until I see and test, internal, external rotation of the shoulders, things like that. And then, really kind of nitpick on stuff. But the big three, I mean, what are your thoughts there as far as, a general mobility workout for most people?
Well, so those three are super, super important. And I'm not going to say that they're not in my top 5. Okay? So I always try to start with your plant and your feet. Your feet are so important. We were talking about that Rotex exercise where, you get a lot of range of motion in your ankles. And I just think once your legs are planted down, your toes and feet your toes are digging in. So what makes your toes dig into the ground is your gastrocs, it's your calves. And what makes that stable is the muscles that support your knee. You kind of go up to your quads and then your hips. Now you got your mobility of your hips and your sacrum, right? You don't want to not have your sacrum mobile, because if your sacrum doesn't move, you can't get that rotation, that violent rotation in your hips, like you were talking about. And then as you go up to lumbar spine, you also want to have that rotation as well. So there we go into thoracic spine, right? So in between here, and that's where I feel, and you and I were kind of discussing it, the injuries can happen in there without, I feel, climbing up that ladder. If you don't have everything else kind of moving, that middle spinal area, can really, really get hurt. The problem about the mid-thoracic area, that it's hard to treat, right? So, lumbar spine is one thing and cervical spine is another thing, but in the middle, it's so hard because it's so hard to get to. There's no specific to get to the muscles. They're really hard to get to with people. So I just feel that working, like you said, bottom up is really the way to go. And talking about the hips, if you don't have mobility in your hips, buddy, I know myself. I'm not getting around on swinging. And but you're right on board with your guys getting those things, hips, knees, and mid back is you're right on board. But then if we could add the component of getting a stable ground, right? That could be something else to think about. I try to take an eclectic approach towards healing, where it just has to be everything, right? We take KP stuff. I take a therapist that I knew 25 years ago, and then I take an orthopedic surgeon. We kind of mix it all together so we can stay in the game for a long time. Just bring it all.
And that's, like I said, that's kind of a big thing that I see is, with injuries, guys will have a knee injury or say a back injury, and that's not usually the cause, right? It's not that your knee was weak or your back is weak. It's usually some type of compensation that you've been dealing with, and it stems usually, like I said, from the bottom up, starting with ankles up through the hips, that cause pulling on all the different muscles and all those compensations. So, guys always want to kind of treat just that injury, but really there's underlying factors that we need to address.
Absolutely. You gotta be fluid everywhere, right? If you have tightness, there's a whole segment of the body called fascia, right? If you're tight over here from trauma, think of your shirt as fascia. If you're tight here, you can see it start pulling on my shirt on the opposite side. So it feels like, trauma could be here, but if you're not fluid everywhere, you could have, like you said, developing of chronic issues down the road, then stopping us doing what we want to do. That's super important to know that it's not just that specific thing. It could be some underlining, pathology that might have happened.
So the problem with the right side of my neck could be very well related to the problem I'm having in my lower left back.
Well, here's a perfect example of that. I had a client years ago. They came with TMJ, temporal mandibular joint disease. So it's like soreness in their jaw, right? So, and we couldn't figure out, where the other therapists couldn't figure out. I'm looking at their gait and I'm wondering, why are you limping so much? They're limping on their right foot. They're kind of limping to the right side. She had broken her toe, big toe, limp, and started changing her posture to compensate. That started bringing the jaw down, developed TMJ from a bad toe.
That's amazing.
We fixed the toe, her posture came up, put everything back in place, the jaw pain went away.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you just got to keep digging. You got to keep digging. And for athletes that are at the highest level of swing speed, these guys were incredible. At that level, it could just be that little bit that takes them to the championship floor, right? Whatever that is, we should evaluate it, look at it, and really at the highest level in the NFL. So everybody's kind of good enough to be there. What makes you a pro? What makes you stay more than 3 years? And it's that little tweaking of stuff that we can do and help.
Yeah.
So
that's everybody's good at the top for sure. Well, enough about them. Let's talk about me some more. So I've got consultation going on here, and it's not costing me anything, so I'm going to take advantage of it. What can I do about my left SI joint? I've sprained that thing in the past, and it never heals. What do I need to do?
Well, we got to work on flexibility. That's number one, and a range of motion. So two different things: flexibility, right, in your lower body is muscle flexibility, but then range of motion in your SI joint. And to me, your SI stems strictly from your sacral, your sacrum. If you don't have your sacrum being able to rotate in all planes, that your hips are able to move oppositely because your sacrum's stuck, that's what I would evaluate first. I would watch you walk. I would watch you, do a couple different things, and then you would obviously tell me where the pain is stemming from, when it happens, total evaluation. And then, to me, the center of the whole world is your sacrum. If that guy is not moving fluidly, front and back, side to side, you're going to have trouble, chronic trouble with your SI. So I would definitely, watch your gait, what your feet are doing. If your feet are not on the ground perfectly flat, if they're, if you have a deviation, if you have scoliosis, if one hits higher than the other, what is it that's causing it? And it can be fixed, depending on if it's just bone structure. I'm sorry, Jeff, you're stuck. But if it's something else, if it could be the way your heel striking, one foot's a little longer than the other, whatever it is, it could be fixed by just an evaluation. So.
Well, there you go. Now I got to go find out what all that stuff means.
Well, and that's another good point that Ben made there is, talking about anatomy itself, and how guys like the femoral joint and stuff like that, how their anatomy is actually shaped. And, you get into femur size and things like that on really like what your squat pattern should be. And I mean, there's so many things that go into it. And, we're here to try and help guys out. That's what we do in the academy. And this is going to be just such a great tool for all the hitters out there to contact Ben, get an evaluation done, even if you think you're healthy, right? I mean, there's more miles an hour in there by making changes and doing mobility work and things like that.
Now, that's cool. So, Ben, let's end this with telling guys how they can contact you, the best way to get in touch with you.
Well, the best way to get in touch with me is via my email, and it's mytrainingsolution@gmail.net. And we'll put that in the link, and we'll get it out to everybody. I could send a an e-bomb to whoever's kind of contacting Jeff, but that or by my phone number.
Yep.
I guess I'm going to tell you right now, 267-716-3317. You always reach out to me. And if I don't answer right away, you can text me or leave a message. And I'm in contact with Jeff a lot. And just let me know, and I would love to help. My whole existence is trying to help. I wake up in the morning trying to help, and I go to bed trying to think about ways of fixing things.
Cool beans, man. So we'll put some links up on the website on ultimatelongdrive.com also to Ben's stuff. And just so I'm clear, is it My Training Solution or plural? My Training Solutions.
With no plural.
No plural. My Training Solution at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
And that's Ben Rodriguez. That's KP over there. You guys know me. We're going to be out. That's all the time we have. Guys, thanks so much for coming and being part of this. This is awesome. And we'll be right back with more Smash Factor right after this.
Welcome to Wingding. With a variety of services to offer, we are an end-to-end one-stop shop for digital media production and distribution. Our company originated in podcasting, video production, and digital marketing space, affording us a solid background for growing your brand through media distribution. Contact us at wingding.tv so we can do what we do for you.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Ben and KP. We appreciate you guys being on the show today. And Ben, especially thank you for your interest in our Long Drive family. Look forward to learning more from you going forward on how our guys can get faster through your knowledge. Thank you so much. So let's get into some results. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we had an event at Western PA in that league. We don't have, that was the season opener there. We don't have the results back from the tournament director. We'll include those in next week's show. Sorry about that. But we did have a doubleheader down in the Florida League at Lake Jovita. So I have those results in front of me. Let's do that. The event number one, Brian Kelly in the U9 boys takes that with a drive of 166. Brian Kelly again in the U11 boys takes that with a drive of 170. Rachel Safriel in the junior girls division takes that with a drive of 249. Wow. Matt King back in action again. Good to see you back, Matt, in the men's 35 division. Took that with a drive of 332. And Shannon McGinnis in the men's 50 division takes that with a drive of 295. Shannon McGinnis again in the men's 55 division takes that with a drive of 297. Dave Zajac in the men's 70-plus division takes that with a drive of 250 yards. Event number two took place right after event number one there in the afternoon Saturday at Lake Jovita. Brian Steffen was running that event for Josh Koch. Brian Kelly in the U9 boys with a drive of 165. He was 166 in the first one, consistency. Brian Kelly in the U11 boys goes 180. He was 170 in the first event. Good job, Brian. Rachel Safriel in the junior girls takes that with a drive of 229. Matt King again in the men's 55 division with a drive of 329, edged out Dale Darr at 328. Shannon McGinnis in the men's 50-plus division took that with a drive of 316. And Shannon McGinnis, again, the men's 55-plus division, takes that with a drive of 316. And Shannon improved himself from 295 and 297 in the first event up to 316. Dave Zajac in the men's 70-plus division takes that with a drive of 258. So that's it for results. Again, we'll have the Western PA event information here for you in the next show next week. We'll get that, their season kickoff was this past weekend. So let's get into the May schedule. We got a busy May in front of us. I'm going to go through the whole month of May here. So Spring Slams at the Rim, that's down at the Rim Golf Academy with Cody Brooks in San Antonio, Texas. May 6th at 10 a.m. That's May 6th at 10 a.m. at the Rim. The Bertram Springs long drive event, May 13th. That's up in the Minnesota-Iowa division. Adam Sauter leading things off there. It's at the Bertram Chain of Lakes Regional Soccer Field, 10 a.m. May 13th. 10 a.m. May 13th, Minnesota, Iowa. Let's go down to Southern California. We've got an event there at Morongo Golf Club at Tuquet Canyon with Lynn Ray leading the charge. That goes off at 12 o'clock, May 13th. May 13th, Southern California, folks. Let's get out there and hit. Then up in Ohio at the Golf Center at Sports Ohio with Mike Pagliari running things. On May 14th, we get off there at 10 a.m. That's May 14th, 10 a.m. in Central Ohio at the Golf Center at Sports Ohio. Then back down in Austin with Cody Brooks at the Rock ROK Center, 11 a.m. May 20th. 11 a.m. May 20th in Austin, Texas. Then Mid-Atlantic, we got the first event at the new venue, Woodridge Farm Brewery. They got a 700-yard grid. I don't think anybody will challenge that. May 20th at 1 p.m. at Woodridge Farm Brewery. You should go check this out. This new venue will we're going to be using that a lot, I think. Those people are excited about getting our long drive folks involved. Then let's go May 20th to Pebblebrook Golf Course in Utah, Nevada. We've been there before. Brian Milkey leading things there. 5 p.m. May 20th at Pebblebrook in the Utah, Nevada League. Then on back to the Mid-Atlantic, Memorial Weekend at the Gauntlet. Kevin Porter running things there at 12 p.m. May 27th at the Gauntlet. May 27th at 12 p.m. at the Gauntlet. Then Western Carolina League with Matt Moby Ellenberg there at Shanks Golf Range, May 27th at 1 p.m. May 27th, 1 p.m. at Shanks. Been there, hit on that grid. That's a great place to go. Then that gets us into June. We got a really busy June schedule, July and August coming up. There may be some more May things added, so we'll go through those again next week. But just know that if you haven't hit with us yet, there's plenty of time to get in and earn some points, earn some money, earn your way to our World Championship, which is in October this year down at Partee Range near Columbia, South Carolina. Just go click on the membership tab, get your membership, click on the schedules tab, go to the main calendar or the league calendars, find an event near you, join that event, go earn some points, go earn some money. That's going to do it for this week's show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Just remember, hit them long, hit them straight. And we'll see you right back here on Smash Factor every week. And next week, we'll be right here. Thank you so much.